I got a question from an artist friend the other day, and she said to me, "What artist has influenced my work the most?" And that made me think for a while. And I was thinking about all the artists through the years that I've known about that have influenced me. And influences are funny because I don't think it's a stylistic influence necessarily. Sometimes it's more of an intellectual influence or a lifestyle influence or um, something like that. I mean, I think of Roy DeForest as somebody and the California funk people in the 1950s that were doing all this work that people said it wasn't real art. And I thought, man, these guys were really willing to break boundaries. So, in thinking about it, it got me back to the material I'm using. And I realized that the biggest influence in my work, the type of work that I'm making, is, let's say, traditional tribal. Um, Inuits certainly have influenced my work. African art has influenced my work. And then I started thinking about it more generally. And I realized that what has influenced me the most is the cultures or the people or um, whomever that have taken whatever's around them and they've used that to expand on their voice and expand on their vision and expand on the culture that they live in. So I realized that a lot of these early cultures were literally using what was ever at hand. They were using sticks and wood and bones and leaves. Sometimes it was really ephemera. Rock carvings. I mean, oh my gosh, rock carvings have influenced me so much. You have what's at hand, you make what you want to make from it. I think the most interesting thing about all of this is that it's what they wanted to say with the material they had at hand. And in my creating the funky work that I make, my voice is about the animal world. It's about my believing that the animal world is a metaphor for the human world and for me more specifically. And then I've been able to use these funky, funny materials to express those people, those animals, and having a really fun time being able to use junk or whatever you want to say. There's nothing precious about the material that I use. So I realized that probably with you and with me, one of the biggest things that continues to drive me is a real curiosity for the world that I've created. In a way, it's like seeing a rock in a stream and wanting to pick it up and see what's underneath there and go a little deeper. So, my daily influences are things like interactions with animals that I have in nature, whether it's songbirds or cats or whatever. It's what I read, what sometimes anecdotal stories can really influence what I build. The other thing that really pushes me is the material I use, the different. So that material forces me to be really curious and see if I can make something from a pretty different material. And I'm wondering with you if it's the same thing. What drives you on a daily basis to keep pursuing your vision, your artistic voice, the message that you're putting out there? And I think that's the thing that all of us artists have in common is what keeps us going on a daily basis.